Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir. We are able to see your screen.
Yes.
okay. I will share my screen now. Okay. So, are you people able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
sir. We are able to see your screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So, let's start with the understanding about the Stirling integrator and what is Stirling integrator. And before we understand what is the Stirling integrator, we have to first understand what is ESB, right? Enterprise Service Bus. Okay. So, anyone know what is the ESB? Any idea? So, I mean, you can speak if you know anything about it. We will get one more perspective.
Is it something related to WAN, like value added extra network or something like that?
That is a part of kind of ESB.
Okay.
It's just nothing but the communication between the middleware applications and the ERP systems.
Second,
It's just the communication systems used for the connection between the ERP system and the middleware systems.
okay, okay. Okay. Okay, so I have muted everybody because I was getting some noise, background noise. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the definition of the ESB because Stirling integrator is nothing but a ESB. Okay, Enterprise Service Bus. Okay, so ESB is a category of softwares, right, that can be used to integrate different applications, okay, different application in any company or in any organization, and this product can be used to interconnect application within the organization or outside the organization, right? How? We'll see now. Okay, and one more thing, I have muted everybody, but so if you have any question you have to unmute yourself and before you speak. Okay, so to understand this ESB thing, okay, let's take an example. Okay, say suppose you work in an organization, okay, and that organization may have different application, right? Say suppose this is your A1 and this is A2, and then you have another application called the B1 and fourth application, say suppose that is your B2. These applications are built independently, okay, at some point of time. Okay, say suppose this is your SAP application and this is your payment application, this is your order management application, or this is, say suppose, your warehouse management system. Okay, so these applications has a particular functionality and they know how to do that particular operation or the functionality, right? But they cannot work independently, right? So at some point you have to determine that how these applications can be connected with each other so that they function without any manual intervention, right? So how you will do this, right? To achieve this, we normally use ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. This ESB has capability to connect different systems, okay, so that these different systems communicate with each other. Okay, and in this enterprise service bus word, this bus term has come from your bus in like in your laptops or in your computers, right? So if you have ever opened any desktop, right, you will see buses that connect different components in your computer, right? So in this ESB word, bus word has come from hardware part that connects different components. Okay, so any ESB, right, whether it's a Sterling integrator, whether it's a web methods, Oracle, TIBCO, whatever it is, right, all ESB perform one task, which is integrate or connect different systems, right? And these systems can belong to a particular organization or they can belong outside the organization, right? To understand this, let me take one more example. Okay, let me take one more example, right, to make you understand the concept of the ESB. Okay, say suppose you work in India, okay, for a organization, for a bank called uh, HDFC. Okay, so you work for this bank, right? So what is the role of the HDFC bank? Their primary role is to take the money from different people or manage the account of general public, right? Now HDFC has individual citizens account, as well as they also maintain corporate accounts, right? So say suppose they maintain the corporate account of the TCS, right? Which means there is a business tie-up between the TCS and the HDFC that at the end of every month, TCS will send some 1 million rupees, right? And the HDFC has to distribute this $1 million to all the employees of TCS that has account in the HDFC bank, right? So this is the tie-up between the TCS and okay. So say suppose this is TCS, between the TCS and HDFC, right? Now TCS has say suppose 50,000 employees, right? That has account in the HDFC bank, right? Now TCS can have a manual process, or maybe he has had some 10 or 20 or 50 employees that will go at the end of every month to HDFC bank, right? And they will deposit account details and money to individual employees account, right? But which is very inefficient and not possible in today's world, because we want to remove this manual intervention part, right? Because that is, first of all, it's not accurate and it takes time, and these processes are also error prone, because if you hire a person, right, he may do a mistake, he may do some calculation mistake, or he may end up depositing someone else's salary in my salary in my account, right, and my salary in somebody else's account, right? So we do not want an individual person to do this, right? So they have to automate this process. Now to automate this process, what HDFC said is, they said we have a very foolproof payment system, right? Which is capable to process the salaries of individual employees or individual citizens, right? But we need account number, first name, last name, and the amount that need to be deposited. These 4 or 5 fields we need 4 or 5 information we need to process a salary. Okay, so TCS said, okay, that's very nice. I mean, we can provide this information to you. So HDFC said, okay, how you will provide that information? Now, this payment system, right, that is in the HDFC bank, right, which is in the HDFC bank, it was, say, suppose some legacy system. It was built 5 years back. It has capability to accept a XML file, read that XML file, right, and then deposit that amount in the employee's account, a particular person's account. Okay, so it needs, HDFC Bank needs XML file, right? So HDFC business team contacted to TCS people and they said, okay, you provide a XML in a specific format where first you have to write the account name, right? Account name, then first name, and then last name, and then the amount, right? You create a XML format in this way, right? And you send to us, we will process it, right? Teacher said, we have this information, we can provide to you, but the problem is our employee management system or the attendance system has, it does not have capability to generate the XML file. It can generate only CSV file, or say suppose Excel sheet, Excel file it can generate, right? So that is the problem number 1. First is data format, right? Right. So HDFC said, no, our system only accept XML. We understand only XML. We cannot take your Excel file or the CSV file. So that is a problem number 1. Second problem, HDFC said, we have a FTP server, right? We have a FTP server. You have to connect to our FTP server and drop the file, and then we will process, right? I do not know if you people are familiar with the server and client architecture, but if you are not, just try to remember this thing, because I will explain what is this client and server architecture in detail, okay, in later sessions. Okay, so HDFC said we have FTP server, but teacher said, actually we have SFTP capability, right? They said SFTP. They said we can send the file only through the SFTP, right? Now this is another problem, right? So another problem is communication problem, right? So because HDFC definitely want to do business with the TCS, they said, okay, let's build a system that will have capability to process Excel file and buy another server or deploy another SFTP server so that we get the file from the TCS. They said, okay. So they spent some 50-60 lakhs rupees and build a system that will accept the Excel file, right? And will accept the file through the SFTP server. So this is their SFTP server, right? And now they started doing business with the TCS, right? And they send the file to their payment system and everything started working, right? So one business is done. Next year, they get another business with some other company, right? Say suppose that is CTS. Okay, CTS. So CTS also want to send a electronic file to the HDFC bank so that they deposit the money to all their employees who owns the HDFC account. So now again, these two companies has a business tie-up, and business people have good agreement. They sign all the legal documents and everything. Now technical people come together, and HDFC says, boss, we have SFTP server and we can now accept Excel file, right? If you send the file in the Excel format through the SFTP, we can process your employees' data in couple of minutes. CTS said, no, actually our employee management system does not generate file in the Excel format. It generates the file in the EDI format, or it generates file in the comma separated format, or maybe in the positional format, right? And we don't have any capability to send file through the SFTP server. We can send file only through the AS2 protocol or HTTP protocol, right? Now HDFC is in problem again, because HDFC definitely want to do business with the CTS, right? And if they want this, if they want to make this process smoothless, without any trouble, or they want to remove all manual intervention, right? They have to automate this process. Now to automate this process, they have to now buy another server called the AS2 server or HTTP server, right? And they have to build another functionality, right? So that they can process comma separated file that CTS employee system will generate, right? Now the point is, when HDFC is doing business in the worldwide, he will come across different companies that will generate files or the data in different formats, right? So now if HDFC will start building integration, right? This is what this is integration, right? You are integrating TCS or CTS system with the HDFC bank's payment system, right? So if they start entertaining or start building individual integration systems, right, for every partner, it will be always it will be almost impossible for HDFC to survive in the technology term, or even to bear the burden of this technology, or maintaining all these thousand and thousand of servers and the technology, right? So which is not practically possible, right? To solve this problem, right, we have something called the ESB. We have something called the ESB. Okay. Enterprise Service Bus. Okay. So instead of buying FTP server, SFTP server, HTTP server, AS2 server, right, and building different application for data conversion or to support different kind of file format, what HDFC is going to do is they will buy a good, cheap, stable ESB solution, Enterprise Service Bus software or the solution. Okay. So now say suppose HDFC buys a ESB solution, and name of that ESB solution is SI, Sterling Integrator. Okay. This ESB. Okay. Now what is the functionality and what you will now understand what functionality ESB provides. This ESB or any ESB, in our case particularly, this ESB is a Sterling integrator, will have capability to support all the communication protocols. Right? When I'm saying all the communication protocol, all the commonly used protocols, right? AS2, AS3, AS1, FTP, FTPS, SFTP, HTTP, HTTPS, web services, Connect Direct, JMS, MQ. What are other protocols? You can think RoseNet, Swift. There are a couple of more. That is, I'm not able to remember that. Okay. Now, one more thing, right? Sterling integrator does not only support these protocols, does not only support the server for these protocols. SI also supports the client part also, right? For example, say suppose you have another company called the HCL, right? HCL also want to do business with the HDFC, right? But the problem with the HCL is it says we have some business policy and the security policies that says do not connect to third party or any vendor server and drop the file. Okay, ask your vendor or ask your clients to connect to HCL's FTP server or SFTP server and pull the file. If that is the scenario, it means your HDFC bank now need SFTP client. They have SFTP server, right? They bought the SFTP server to do the business with the TCS, right? But for the HCL, they want SFTP client, which is different thing altogether. Correct? So this SI, the point is you will come across different scenarios, right? So you need wide range of communication capability. So in SI, so solution is you buy Sterling integrator or buy a good ESB, right? Particularly in case of the Sterling integrator, it has FTP server. It also have FTP client. It has SFTP server. It also has SFTP client, right? So you can host a SFTP server and you can also connect to your client's SFTP server to pull the file. It has HTTP server. It also has HTTP client. It has SFTP server. It also has SFTP client. It can host a Connect Direct server. It can also connect to another Connect Direct server. So all these capabilities are in SI, right? So what HDFC will do is he will buy a Sterling integrator and he will say, now I have a Sterling integrator, which is a very good ESB. I can connect to any of my external partner and I can do business with everyone in the world, right? What they will do? They will use FTP protocol, they will use SFTP protocol, they will use HTTP protocol. No problem. I have everything, right? They may ask me to connect to their system and pull the file. No problem. I have clients protocols as well, right? So this is the first capability that your Sterling integrator as a ESB provides, right? So your communication problem is solved. Now come to the first problem. The first problem we call the data translation or the data transformation, right? And this problem can be easily understood, right? Say suppose I speak Hindi, right? And some of you speak Spanish. We cannot communicate with each other, right? We need a translator. We need a middleman, right? A Sterling integrator or your ESB also works as that middleman. Okay, TCS will connect to your SI, okay, and it will send the Excel file. Okay, Sterling Integrator will take that Excel file and will convert into XML format, right? XML format that your payment system wants, right? And after converting that file, Excel file in XML, it will send to the payment system, right? In the same way, in case of the TCS, right? TCS will send the file to ESB, right, in the comma separated format. Your SI will translate or convert that file, right, that comma separated file into the XML format that your payment system needs, HDFC's payment system needs. So after conversion, that comma separated file, it will send to the payment system. Okay. In case of the SCL, right, SCL will send file in the, say suppose EDI format, right? SCL will send the file in the EDI format. Your Sterling Integrator will take that EDI file and it will translate and convert into XML format and send to your payment system. Problem solved, right? Now see, you can accept, as you means HDFC Bank can accept, right, any format file or the data in any format, and it can translate into a format that its own system want or like, right? It can accept the file from any protocol, right? So with all this explanation, the concept is ESB enables integration of system, right? Application, right? Employee management application that is in TCS now integrated with the payment system of the HDFC, right? Employee management application of CTS now able to connect or communicate directly with the payment system, right? And it happened only because of the ESB, right? So these are the functionality that your ESB provides. Okay, so this is what ESB is. Any question? Now you people can unmute yourself and ask question. Okay. Anyone?
Sir, when you said that HCL denies to send the file to HDFC via third party, like how the HDFC will pull the file from HCL, like how that process will work, sir?
Right. So I mean, how this process will work, we will discuss in the great detail, okay, later. But they have, okay, SFTP server, right? HDFC Bank hosts a SFTP server. Because of that, your TCS connect to their SFTP server and send the file, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So they have server and they have client. For example, right, you use the gmail.com, right? Your browser is the client, right? And Google hosts a HTTP server. So when you type gmail.com, right, actually your browser, which is a HTTP client, send a request to Google's HTTP server. Got it?
Yeah.
So this is how this client server architecture works, right? So in case of the TCS and HDFC integration, HDFC has a SFTP server and the TCS has a SFTP client, right? SFTP client can be your FileZilla. FileZilla is a good example of your SFTP or FTP client. This guy, FileZilla, right? this is my FTP or SFTP client, right? I can use this application to connect any FTP or SFTP server. Okay. In the same way, in case of the SCL, and it happens, I have seen that. Okay, I have worked with the banks, and I know that there are few companies which have very strict policy, and they say we do not go out. Right? We have servers. We want all other parties who want to do business with us, they need to connect with us and drop the file or pull the file. Okay. But we don't go out. Okay. So in case of the HCL, right? HCL said we have a SFTP server. Okay. We have a SFTP server. I will create a directory in my SFTP server, and I will name it HDFC. Okay. At the end of every month, right, which is 29th, okay, I will drop a XML file at 12 o'clock in the noon. Okay. HDFC need to connect to our SFTP server on a particular IP address and on a particular port. Okay. And they need to pull this file. Pull the file on the in the provisions of the HDFC bank, and then process the way they want. Right? Which is very much possible.
Okay.
Right? So it's a possible, it's a valid and the realistic scenario.
Yes, sir.
Right? But you understood, right, what flavor or what benefit this guy as ESB or Sterling integrator will give you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Any other question? Anyone else, please?
So when you said, like for example, TCS or CTS or HCL, examples when you were giving, so they can be, when they're sending the files, those files can be anything like Excel sheet or EDI or CSV. So these are the file formats, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes. I mean, see, say suppose I have a hotel, right? I'm international hotel, right? So I can get people from the UK who speak English. I can also get the people from the Spain who speak Spanish, right? I can get the people from the France who speak French, right? So I have to. I want to do business. I want to earn money, right? So I will accept everyone, right? Now, French people cannot speak in Hindi, right? They cannot understand Hindi. So what if I want to survive in the market, then what I will do? I will need a translator, right? Right now, right. So no, see, it's a very good example, right? So now, if I want to do business with everybody, with all the countries, so I have to have 100 or 200 people. One who translate French to Hindi, another person who translate English to Hindi, another person who translate Spanish to Hindi, right? So instead of hiring these 100 people, I will hire one person, right, like you, who is genius, who know all other language, and he also knows Hindi, right? So this genius guy is my ESB.
Right.
He will be my middleman, right? Yeah. This is a good example. Yeah. You got it, right? What is a ESB? Okay. So is that good? Can we proceed?
I have a question.
Yes.
Jay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yes. Actually, I just want to know that there, on both sides, in HDFC and another TCS, CTS company, both sides have a EDI system who will transmit the files. There should be an EDI system who will maintain all the procedure.
Second, they both have the EDI system. Okay.
Okay.
And after that,
these transactions, they will maintain all these transactions like file generating and then sending to the client.
right, yes,
Okay. So
right.
this ESB system is only for SDFC who is serving these facilities.
Right.
Not-
So in case of, in this example, right, because HDFC want to do business with all these people, so that, because that is the primary business of the HDFC, right, to
Okay.
facilitate their clients, right, and or their account holders, right. So in this particular case, actually your HDFC has this ESB, right.
Okay.
So that it can do the business easily with everyone else, right. And in case of, if yes, there can be a scenario where your teachers will send a EDI file, right, and HDFC will also has capability to process that EDI file, right. In this case, maybe we will not do any translation and or the transformation of the data. It will be kind of passed through, but again, right, you need some protocol or some server to accept that EDI data, right? FTP, SFTP, HTTP, some way, right? So that some way or that tunnel or the road will be provided by your ESB. Got it?
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, I have seen many systems where SI is just a pass through, right? It does not do any translation and transformation. In fact, with my previous client, right, SI was just a pass-through system, right? So it just takes the data, right, and sends to some internal system, right?
Okay.
And remember this, right? I am just taking one scenario, one example, right, where TCS or CTS is sending data to the HDFC bank, right? But HDFC bank will also send so much data to all their other partners. So
Okay.
I was working for a bank. So in that bank, they have so many Connect Direct systems, right? So with that were hosted by the different departments in the bank: payment system, loan department, finance department, and there are so many, right? So all these Connect Direct systems send the file to the SI, and then SI send the file to all their external partners, like your Pfizer B and the TCS, CTS, and the US Army, things like that, right? So it was like that. So this communication is both ways.
Okay. It depends on the clients.
It
What
depends
they
on the
require.
client requirement. But the
Okay.
thing what you need to remember right now is your SI provide the capability to do the bidirectional communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. And this is one example, right? But you have to understand the basic concept, right? But this is not the one scenario. It is one of the scenario, right? With my where I work currently, right? It's a retail company, right? So we actually do not communicate with external vendors, right? External parties. But this company itself has so many systems, like you have your order management system, then you have your APG, right? Then you have WM system, warehouse management system. Then you have your auditing system. Then you have, I mean, I don't know how many systems they have. So many systems, right? Then you have cyber source to validate your credit card and things like that, right? So now credit card, your cyber source, which is in third party, right? That that can connect only through the web services, right? Your WM can connect only through the MQ. Your ATG can connect only through the JMS. Your this another sales posting system only can connect through the AS2, right? How this system will communicate with my main application, which is order management system, right? So in this case, ESB is used, right? This diagram is not too bad. ESB is used, right, to connect system within the company. Got it? The point is, ESB is connecting different applications. They can be inside the application, inside the company, and can be outside the company, outside the organization. The point is connection, right? And remember, right, when I send the request, I get the credit card authentication request from the order management system to SI, right? Through the JMS, Java messaging service, right? And I translate that data and I create a web service request before I send to CyberSource. So again, I'm doing the same thing. I accept the data through one protocol in the one format, and then I translate into another format before I send to the third party. So that is the thing.
Hello.
Got it?
Hello.
Yes.
What are the famous ESBs available in the market, and what is the share of Sterling integrator in the?
So that is that is not our kind of question, right? That is not a technical. ESB is a good product, right? If you ask me personally, I would say ESB is SI is really good. I have worked on the Sterling integrator, web method, and the TIBCO, right? So at least I can compare these three. So SI is, I think it's a costly, although, right? It's expensive, but it's a better from the other ESBs too, right? But it has a lot of performance drawbacks, which other ESBs does not have, because your Sterling integrator is a very database cherry application, right? So it has a lot of issue because of that, right? But if you see web methods, which does not use database a lot, it's much more faster and much more efficient than Sterling integrator. But there are few things that I think, right? And again, it's my personal opinion, right? Perspective. There are few things that is very easy to achieve in Sterling integrator compared to web method or the TIBCO, right? Now, as far as the market share is concerned, I do not have any precise data. So I will not, maybe I will not be able to tell you about that. But SI is good. It has a very significant market share, and it's growing its market very fast, right? The only drawback in that area is, I think it's a bit expensive compared to other ESPs. I know that it does not answer your question, but because I do not have answer of your question, so yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Hi JP, it's Abhishek.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Just wanted to know one thing. So in the case when the client and the HDFC or the TCS are both able to send EDI data, so they do not have any differences in format. So why will it use Sterling integrator? Is it just for the protocol change?
Protocol change, yes, definitely. Your payment system can accept data, right, only in the Connect Direct format, right? Now what? But your TCS does not have Connect Direct protocol capability. Or another example, your payment system can communicate with other applications only through the JMS, Java Messaging Service. Okay. Their application is built on the .NET. There is a problem, right? The application or technology cannot restrict to companies to do the business, and if they do, then business cannot survive, right? Then there is no point of doing having the technology itself, right? So ESB will solve the problem by connecting, and that is from where this integration words come in the picture. Integration, integrating this employee management application with the payment system, or the payroll management application with the payment system, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you will have scenario where the translation is not involved, data translation or the transformation is not involved, but still ESB is being used to provide the integration we call or the communication.
Okay. Okay, got your point, JP. Just one more question. So, can any more requirement, like here we have protocol interoperability, right? But can there be any other thing which different, and we want to make it clear with ASI?
No. Can you repeat your question again? I mean,
So I want to, so in here the example is like the format is same, but the protocols are not. So we want to make it compatible. We are using this middleware, right?
perfect.
So I just want to know, are there any other requirements or demands to fulfill which we can use Sterling integrator? Like suppose if there's an example in which the both of the applications are using EDI and SFTP. Can there be any other requirement? I mean,
There will be requirements actually, right? Right, and that requires some more understanding of any infrastructure or this particular concept itself, right? So suppose this is your payment system, right?
okay.
Right. It's now this diagram is very bad, dirty, but still I will have to take this example. Okay, so suppose this is your payment system and it can communicate with the TCS, right, in the SFTP. Okay, sorry, let me use my digital pen. It's better. Okay, this is your SFTP. Okay, and this is your payment system. This is also your SFTP, right? This is EDI, or say suppose this is XML, right? This is also XML, right? Now XML format is also same, right? Same format. But this is my core application, right? This is my core application, on which my entire business is depend on, right? I do not want TCS to directly access to my core application. No, not at all. I will not do that. You will not do that at all, right? No one want to access any third party to directly hit their core application, right? I will still would like, right? Although my protocol is same, my data is same, data format is same, I would still prefer these people to come through the ESB. I will let them connect to ESB. ESB will do some verification, validation, and then my internal guy will connect to me and drop the file. Right? So that is also valid scenario. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you, JP.
Okay. Now let's move on. Before we move to the next topic, I think I have make everybody understand that why you will use Sterling integrator, what is ESB, right? Now we are now going to little bit on the Sterling side and the technical side. Okay, this is my laptop. Inside this laptop, sorry. I have installed virtual machine, okay, VM, okay. Inside that VM, I have my Sterling integrator installed, okay. So desktop, inside my desktop, I have a virtual machine, which is Windows XP, okay. And my computer is, I think, Windows 8 or Windows 10, something like that. Okay. Now, why I'm telling you, because in my previous batch, or the people who have purchased the recordings, they normally ask this question that what is this? Because of they're not able to understand some other concept. Okay. So let me how many does any of you know what is the virtual machine concept?
It's usually a shared system between, like, many
Yeah,
people can use it.
I also do not know much. I just know something, right? So I have virtualization of virtual machine is, right? I really do not ask much questions because I am not a networking person or something like that, right? But I know few things. I mean, things that I need to know. This is my laptop. Okay, which is Windows 10. Okay, virtual machine is a concept which provides the virtualization of your hardware. Okay, so, and it's a very simple thing, just a software you need to install. Okay, you can down, it's a free, it's a if you are not using in your company or the commercial purpose, then you can download and use it, okay, for free. So I downloaded that system, okay, that virtual machine, and installed in my laptop, right? And I created a virtual machine. So inside my laptop, I have Windows XP installed in form of the virtual machine. In this virtual machine, I have Sterling Integrator installed. Okay. Now, why I do this? Because while the training, right, there will be many occasions that where I have to give you real world scenarios, right? Say suppose you have a client called the X, he's sending file to client Y, right? Through the FTP server or SFTP protocol, or say suppose A is sending the EDI file to the B through the AS2 protocol, right? So sometimes these concepts are very difficult to explain in the theory, right? So I need two people who communicate with each other, right? Now for that I need two laptops, right? I can purchase the two laptops, but the problem is how I will share the screens of the two laptops, which is practically not possible, right? Technology, I know technology is advanced, but it's not that advanced that I can share, that enable me to share the screens of the two laptops, right? So to solve this problem, what I did is I created virtual machine and I copy it twice, right? That's give me two virtual machines running with the SI, right? Which means this is one, inside this one laptop, I have two XP running, right? These two XPs have different IP address, different port number, right? You can consider these two VMs as two different systems, right? Literally two different systems, because this SI runs on the different port and the different IP address. This SI runs on different port and different IP address. This allow me to simulate a real world scenarios. Okay, so this is the one thing that you do not get confused. That is why I explained you, right? Laptop will have a virtual machine. Inside the virtual machine, I have SI, which means laptop, inside the laptop I have this Windows XP, okay, and inside this XP I have Sterling Integrator installed. Where I have installed this Sterling Integrator, it is installed in my C:/SI install directory. Okay, this is where I have installed the Sterling Integrator. Okay, this is my installation directory. Okay, and then I today, before this session, I went this bin directory, okay, and I ran this command, start Windows service. Okay, we will see these things in the in our future sessions. Okay, so that has started the bring of the Sterling Integrator in this virtual machine. Okay, Node 1 client. Okay, this is we'll discuss. Okay, So once your Sterling integrator installs, it starts, okay, you access the Sterling integrator by writing HTTP or the HTTPS : IP address of the system where SI is installed, port number is the number on which your Sterling integrator is installed, right? And then you have to write the dashboard. Okay, you have to write the dashboard, right? Then you have to, once you enter this URL on your browser, it will open this page. Okay, then you need to enter your user ID password. Remember, default user ID password for Sterling integrator is admin and the password is password. Okay, you enter user ID password, you will log into the SI or the Sterling integrator dashboard. This is your Sterling integrator dashboard. Okay, quick walkthrough. Business process, right? What is a business process? We are going to see next. Okay, this is where we check in the business process. There are few options through which we monitor the business process. Okay, this is where we set up few trading partners that normally we do not do now, but we set up the AS2 protocol here, SSH profiles here, right? ASP profiles here, PGP and things like that here. Then we have something called the deployment, right? You click on that, we are going to use this section a lot because this is where we will configure and create the adapters and the services. Adapter and service means SFTP protocol. When I will create, I will come on this screen and create the SFTP protocol and the SFTP protocol and things like that. Okay. So, and there are a few other things like mailboxes, which is like a folder and things like that, right? And there are a few other options that we will discuss. Okay. And we will not cover this because normally I haven't used it. I do not know as well, right? This is different thing, right? Then we come here in this screen, in this menu, we are going to see a couple of things like your systems, how to troubleshoot, how do some performance tuning, support, write some SQL against the SI database, and then how to generate the report, how we can use the archive manager, log manager, right? Message monitor, this is for different things. We are not going to see that. How to set up the parameter server, right? And then at the end, we will see, not the end, this is our second or third session where we'll see how to create the user ID, how to create the permissions, group, and things like that. Okay. So it was 1 minute walkthrough to give you just a feel that what Sterling integrated dashboard is and what all things we can do inside this dashboard. Okay, few things, a lot of few things we are going to cover in this course. Okay, so to start with business process. Okay. Okay. Before I move on, any questions?
Jay, I just wanted to know, whatever you showed is all okay. So will you be also covering on the mapping, enveloping part?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, I will show you how to install the map editor and blah blah blah, whatever there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
Correct directory is not part of it, right?
It's not right, but we can cover that because the Canada protocol is important. We can cover that, right? Now you need to understand, okay, Connect Direct is a protocol, right? So you have Sterling Connect Direct, right, which is a independent product itself, right? But SI has Connect Direct server adapter that gives Sterling integrator capability to connect to a Connect Direct server, okay, to pull the file or to push the file, right? So we can cover that part, right? But Sterling integrator, which is standalone application and that provide lot many more things, that cannot be covered, right? So, and that is where this concept comes in picture, right? So I will have one Connect Direct here running, one Connect Direct server adapter here running on this node 2. This is my node 1. This is my node 2. And I can communicate. I can show you how the Connect Direct adapter or how the Connect Direct protocol work by doing some practical and sending the file from the node 1 to node 2. Okay. This is
what are all the standards you will cover? So ANSI X12, Artifact, VDN.
That is only your EDI fact.
So okay, you will cover only Edifact.
Yeah, and basically I will primarily cover the EDI part of it, right? That like how to set up the envelope, how to enveloping service work, how to de-enveloping service work, right? And how EDI file look like, right? If you need to create a EDI map in the SI, then how you can create that, these kind of things, right? But retail EDI versus ecom EDI or some other EDI, right? That I will not able to touch, right? You will be introduced and you will know what the EDI is, how EDI file look like, what is in what envelope, what is ASA, ISA, ST, GSST, SE, right? How we can create this envelope in SI, right? How SI de-envelope it, how SI envelop them in case of the outbound, these things, right? But these are the technical aspects of your EDI, okay? But as per your project, as per your requirement, you have to take this technology with understanding of this technology and use in your project, right? So that is the thing, right? So I will tell you how to add the two numbers, but I will not tell you that how to add 2 plus 2 or 5 plus 5. That you have to figure out yourself. But I will tell you the mechanics of addition in simple words.
Could you please also cover at least 2 transaction sets in ANSI X12?
When I will create an envelope, right? That envelope will be on the some EDI format, right? It may be 810, it may be 820, right? When I will show you the EDI things, right? 1 or 2 formats will be covered anyways, right? But when we talk about, if I tell you that I will cover the retail, right? I have to cover the entire set of retail EDI formats, 810, 820, right? Then what this 810 is, what is this 820 is, right? What is the fields 810 includes? What is the meaning of this 810? What is the meaning of these fields? What is the business aspect of this, right? That make it much more complicated, right? But if you understand the technology, you should able to connect the dot, right? So, which I will cover, which I can do, I can tell you. Which I cannot do, I cannot do.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question? Oh, okay. No question. Okay. So now you understand ESB, and we also have a quick walkthrough of SI dashboard, right? And we are going to look on these various options, right, in detail as we proceed in our course, right? So to start today's session, okay, we have to learn the business process, okay. So let's today write a hello world business process, right, before we wrap this session, okay. So before we write the hello world business process and execute, we have to understand what is a business process, okay. Or business process, sometimes we also call the BP, okay. So okay, everyone is able to watch my screen, right? You're able to see my screen, correct?
Yes, Chip.
Good. Okay. Now in Sterling Integrator, okay, we write business process, okay. And today we are going to write a hello world business process in the GPM. Got it? But before we write the hello world business process, let's first understand what is a business process. Okay. So as name implies, business process, a process for a business, right? Or a process, right, that know how to do the business. Okay. So a business process, to add the two number is, take X, store 5, sorry, then take Y, store 10, then in the next step, take another variable called Z and do equal to X plus Y. This is a business process. Business process to add two numbers. Okay. Business process to watch a movie. What will be? Okay. When I was in Delhi, that business process was like, get up in the morning, okay, then have lunch, take bath, right, get some money, take metro to go to Noida, right, purchase a ticket and go to hall. This was the business process to watch a movie for me. That means business process is nothing but sequence of steps you need to achieve a business goal. Sequence of steps that you need to perform to achieve a business goal. For example, right, you get a file, right? Let's take actual scenario. You get the file TCS, okay, send the file in a folder, in SI folder, right, and so say suppose this is your XML file, right, and this is your SI, right. So TCS has dropped the file in the folder or in the mailbox in Sterling Integrator. This is for the payment file, payment file. Sorry. Business requirement says, you need to collect this file from this mailbox. So first collect the file. Right. First step. Second step says check if XML file. If it's XML file, translate to CSV. Okay. Fourth step says rename file to abc underscore timestamp dot CSV. Fifth step says send to mainframe. This is my business process. You write a code that can perform these steps step by step, right? That code, that written code is called the business process. Okay, so as a definition, if I had to tell you, I will say business process is nothing but a sequence of steps to perform or to achieve a business goal, right? Like I explained you here. Got it? So I will have some service, some activity to collect the file, right? Then to check if it's XML file or not, then translate, and then rename the file and then send to the mainframe. So these are the steps that we have to perform. Okay. So that we call the business process. Okay. Now we are going to learn how to write the business process and how to execute that business process in Sterling Integrator. In Sterling Integrator, there is a software, another piece of software that we call the GPM. Okay, called the GPM, Graphic Process Modeler. Okay, we can write we can orchestrate business process by connecting different activities in the GPM. Okay, so when you will start learning Sterling Integrator or when you are new to Sterling Integrator, I would ask you to practice or start writing business process in the GPM. But as you will grow your experience, you will start writing the business processes directly in XML. Okay. So I now write business process in XML directly. I do not use the GPM at all. I do not like it, this tool. Okay. Now, so let's see how to use the GPM. You log into the dashboard, right? And then click the business process. And then you have to click on the manager. Okay. The first step, the first option on that screen says run graphic process modeler. Okay. Click on the go. Click on OK. Okay. So this next 1 to 2 step will install graphic process modeler on your desktop. Okay. You can say close. Okay. Now you select English and say continue. Now here you have to enter your user ID password. Okay, the user ID password that you use to log into dashboard. SI dashboard means here. Okay, so I use the default user ID password, which is admin admin and password. Okay. It's opening. Okay, guys. This is your GPM, graphic process modular. Okay. Click on file. Okay. Before you click on the file on something like that, okay, you need to click on the view, stencils, and BPML. Okay. So what I did, view, stencils, BPML. Oops. When you write the business process, okay, you have to use some basic building blocks, right? And you also have to use some services, right? Now, how I explain you the building blocks? Okay, when you construct your house, right, you have to use the bricks, right? So bricks is a basic building block to construct a house, right? But you also use window frame, you also use AC, you also use air condition, you also use freeze, you also use different kind of thing, door, and so many chimney and so many other things, right? When you construct a house, right? So you have some basic building blocks, which is like your bricks, and then you also use, or you also have to use some other services to construct a house, right? In the same way, when you write the business process, you have to use some basic building blocks, right? And then to achieve the actual business goal, you also have to use some complex services to achieve your end business goal. Keep that in mind, right? When you write the business process, right, you have to use some basic steps. You need some basic building blocks, right? When you click on the view, stencils, and when you click on the BPML, that give you those basic building blocks, right? If you are familiar with the programming language like Java, then I would say these are your keywords like void, string, main. Main is not a keyword, I'm sorry. String is also not. Like your void, integer, character, float, right? Semicolon, for loop. These are your basic building blocks. These are the keywords using which you write a program, right? In the same way, to write the business process, you need some basic building blocks. BPML option gives you those basic keywords or the basic building blocks, right? So now you have your basic building blocks on your GPM. So you are ready to write business process. Go to the file, click on the new, right? It will open a white page, right? Where you need to write the business process. Okay, and these business processes get really complex. Okay, but again, Rome was not built in a day, right? And you cannot write most complex business process from tomorrow, right? If you have such expectation from you, then it's not right. No one can do it, right? When no one can do it, you can also not do it. So you have to start from the basics, step by step, one step, two step, three step. This is how graph goes. Okay, so write some basics code first, and then increase the complexity of that, right? So, and I know that. Okay, trust me, you will eventually get there where you will write very complex business process, which maybe I will not able to understand. Okay. So now you have this uh, white screen where you need to write the business process. To write a business process, first you need the start activity. Okay, and one more thing, these small guys that you see here, we call them the activity. Okay, start, and every business process end with a end activity. Okay, between the start and end, you need to have a sequence start and the sequence end. Okay, why the sequence start and sequence end, right? I will explain. There is a reason that why you need to use a sequence start and sequence end right after the start and end. Okay, so after that you need to connect these dots or the activities. Okay, as I explained you, every business process starts with the start activity and ends with the end activity, right? And every sequence, right, or one set of activity start with the sequence start and sequence end. That means all of these activities has a specific task. Okay, like when you build your house, a brick has one task, and the cement that you use, right, to connect these bricks, right? This is a one brick, this is a one brick. These bricks has a specific task, right? And then you use the cement to connect them. Then in the next step, we have another activity called the assign. Okay, assign activity is used to assign a variable. Okay, assign activity is used to assign a variable. Okay, which means if you want to assign some value, a string value, float value, integer value inside a variable, then you have to use the assign activity. Okay, so you get drag your activity from the palette in this main area, business process area, and then you connect them. And once you connect them, you double click on the activity. Okay, when you double click, like I double click here, when I double click on this activity, it gives me all the available options, all the parameters that can be used to configure this activity. Okay, for example, assign activity has three parameters that can be configured. Okay, first append, second constant, from, and to. Okay, so to may in the to, which is name of the parameter, say suppose I assign the variable first session. Okay, then inside this variable, okay, I have a variable called first session. and the value of this variable is something. This is what I want to do. If you are familiar with any programming language, okay, to achieve this in business process, we have to do something like this. Okay, to name, this is name of the variable, and the constant that you want to assign this variable, you have to write here. Okay, got it? Once you do this, it completes your hello world business process. Okay, that means you connect all your activities as per your business requirement. Once you do that, once you complete doing that, you click on the save. Okay, so that you save the business process. Save. Okay, so I will create a new folder here. Okay, and at the end of session, I will share these BPs to you. Okay, you clicked on the save. Your business process is saved in a folder in your file system, and you will say BP business process validation successful. It means whatever code you have written, it's successful. Okay. Next step. If you are familiar with any programming language, it means you have compiled your program. Step that we did now. It's like you have compiled your program. Next step will be to test this program or to run this program. Right? Now, how you will do this? So, to do that, in Sterling Integrator, right? Remember, okay, you need to visualize this thing and understand it very clearly, right? And because you should not have any doubt, okay? You have SI here, right? You use another software called the Graphic Process Modeler to write your BP, right? And after writing or orchestrating your BP, you saved it somewhere here, right? These are two different components. These are two different softwares, right? And maybe your SI is running on the server. Your GPM will be installed on desktop, in your desktop, right? So this code does not know SI, and SI does not know this code. It means now you have to do something so that this code go inside a Sterling integrator, right? You need to remember this. So suppose your Sterling integrator is installed somewhere in the US server. You are working for that company in India. So you will access this dashboard from your desktop in India, right? Using the IP address and the URL that is provided to you. Then you will log in the dashboard with the user ID and password, right? And then once you will click on the manager, right? You click on the go, that will install the GPM in your desktop, which is this part, right? Now you have your BP ready. You compiled it, validated it, all looks good. Now if you want to run this BP, you have to check in this business process in this Sterling integrator. Got it? Right? Otherwise, it will not make sense, right? You have to check in this BP in Sterling integrator. How you will do that? Let's see that. Okay. Click on this manager option. Okay. Then click on the second go, which is process definition. Okay. Click on this go. And this SI, Sterling integrator, that is you see here, it is slow. It will slow, right? Because I have multiple applications running on my desktop, so it will be slow. SI. Okay. First option is name of the business process. Okay. You write the name of business process, what makes sense to you. Okay. Whatever you like. Got it? Second, there are two ways to check in the business process in Sterling integrator. Okay. First, check in the business process created by the graphic process modular. Second, business process written in the text editor, right? Right now, the business process we have created, right? It has created a, let me show you, GPM file. Here it is. It has created a .bp file that you see here. Okay, it has created a .bp file, right? So if you have this file, then you have to select the first option and then click on the next. In the next option, click on the browse, right? So yeah, someone asking about that thing, right? EDI. So here you see, I mean, when we will learn EDI, right, we have to do something, right? So 850 is here, inbound 850. This is what we covered in the last batch. Anyways, hello world. Okay, and then in the description you write something. This is BP for batch for SI batch. Okay, click on the next. Okay, after that you will have some options that we will discuss in coming sessions. Okay, click on the next, click on the next again, click on the next again, and we are going to discuss all these options that you saw in the last three screens, right? But not today, obviously. Click on the finish, right? So guys, what you did, you wrote your business process on your desktop. You check in this business process in Sterling integrator now. After writing your business process, you install, in the other terms, I would say you install the business process in SI, or we check in the business process in SI. Okay, click on the written, right? Select your BP. What was the name? This was right, batch 3, right? This is your BP. Okay, so you have to search the business process. Okay, so far you wrote your business process, then you check in that BP in Sterling integrator, right? Now you need to run this business process. Now we want to run this business process to see whether it's working properly or not. Okay, now to run the business process, okay, now remember this, most of these business process will run automatically by some schedule or by some trigger or something like that. But here I'm running this business process manually, which you will not do in real world scenario, right? This business process will be executed automatically by some means. So you will click on this option, execution manager. Click on this. Okay. You will come to this screen, and after that you have to click on the execute. Okay. Once you click on the execute, you will come on this screen. Okay. Then simply click on the go. Okay. And wait for a second. There you go. So you see, completed, status success. It means your business process has ran successfully. If you see in your BP, right, we have only start, sequence start, and then assign statement. Actually, there was only one assign statement, right? These are the basic building blocks, right? So these does not show up, right? There was one step, which is assign, that you can see here. Where is my BP? Yeah, here it is. Assign step, right? In your assign step, what you did, you have process data, you have first session. Now, from where this first session is coming, you remember? Name of variable. Who is the name of variable? Name of variable is first session, right? Content is hello world. So, if you see in the process data, you see first session and the value is hello world. This is what it is. You get that? This, right? This is what we were trying to achieve, right? We have done x equal to 5. We assign a constant value in a variable, right? What is the process data, right? What is the process data? What is the significance of this, right? We will discuss tomorrow. Okay, I do not want to confuse everyone, right? But we are going to see one more thing today. Okay, so this way, friends, today we completed our Hello World application, right? In order to complete this Hello World application, we learned few things, which were essential things. Okay, so you need to keep this in the mind. Come back here again. Now, say suppose, okay, you did not get the desired result. Okay, desired result means this business logic is not working. I need to add one more assign. Okay, so I added one more assign, right? This is J, and the content is good batch. Say suppose that is my content. This is my business requirement. Okay, so I added one more assign, right? Now I'll come to this screen, right? I updated my business process again on my desktop. I need to execute this updated business process in Sterling Integrator. So what I have to do, I have to again check in this business process back in Sterling Integrator. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to file and save, validate, yes, save. So it is saved again, which file? In hello world.bp file, which is saved in the C drive, and it says business process validation successful. So we are good. Okay, come back here. Okay, my BP is updated here. It is in my local system. Now I need to check in to the Sterling Integrator system, which is installed in the US. So now, in the previous step, you learned how to check in a business process first time, right? Now I'm going to show you how to update a business process which is already in SI. Okay. So first step will be, you have to search that business process. This is your business process. So you find your business process, right? Even if you get the multiple business processes, say suppose like this, you got the multiple results by that search. You need to find the one that you want to update. I want to update this one, right? To update the business process, you have to click on the source manager. Remember, to execute, you click on the execute manager. To update a business process, you have to click on the source manager. Okay. To update a business process, you have to click on the source manager, right? You come on this screen. You have to, there is a one problem, right? That I will tell you why, right? You need to click on the check-in. Okay. When you click on the check-in, actually, you get the lock on that business process. That make sure that no one else runs this business process or update this business process because you are going to update, right? So that is why you get the lock. We'll discuss this part later. Okay. Now you can click on the edit. Okay. We have to this option. I do not want that. Check-in. Click on the check-in. This is the one problem. We have to click on the checkout before we check in. Cancel. Now click on the check-in. Okay. Now browse. Hello World BP. Okay. This is second version. Okay. Click on next. Click next. Make your new version as your current version. If you want to make sure that your code get effective, okay, and then click on next. Click on finish. Now your new business process is checked in inside the business inside the SI, or your updated business process has been checked in SI. Now you want to test this. Okay, to test this, you have to click on the execute manager again. Okay, click on the execute manager and then execute. Click on the go. So now here you can see now two assign statements. Okay, first assign, first session, hello world. Okay, click on the second assign. Second step, you will say another variable called the J, and the value is good batch. Okay, stop. Right, so you run your business process. Okay, there's one more thing I want to finish today. Okay, other way of checking a business process. Okay, now this is your GPM, right? You see all these activities here, but beside these activities or the behind these activities, there is a XML code. Okay, to see that XML code, click on the view and click on the source. Okay, this is the XML code. Okay, that your GPM has generated for you. Okay, how you get that XML code? Click on the view, click on the graph. It will convert in the graph, and if you click on again view, click on the source, so it will give you the source, right? I actually write the business process directly in this XML because I know which activity represents which tag, which means Start activity means actually this process tag. Okay. Sequence start activity means sequence tag. Okay. Assign activity means assign tag. Okay. Parameters that you see here, 2 and the constant. Okay. That is 2 attribute, and if it's a constant, then you will write like this. And if you want to assign a value in variable from another variable, right, then we use from parameter that we see in the next session. Okay, not today. So the point is, does not matter. You write your business process indirectly in the XML. Okay. For example, okay, I will see this, and I will let me open a notepad. Okay. So suppose I want to have one more assign statement. I can write like this. Okay. Value of x equal to 5. This is how I write business process. Right. Soon you will also write the business process like this. So my business process is ready. Now I need to test this business process. What I will do? Manage, create, process definition, click on the go. In front of process definition, click on the go. Okay. Name of business process, test 2. Let me write dash 2. Second, in the first time when you have .bp file, right, you use the first option. This time you have to use the second option, business process in the text editor. Okay, click on next. Here you will get in the first option you get a browse option, right? In the second option you will get a text field, right, where you can copy paste your code like this, right? And you write some comment, whatever makes sense to you, then click on next. That's fine, who cares? Click on next. Just click on next. And these options that you see here, right, this option has a very significant meaning in the life and execution of a business process. Okay, we are going to see these things. Okay, but slowly. You come here, click on the finish. Okay, return. Now you have 2 BPs. This is the first BP that we wrote. This is your second BP. Okay, execute it. Click on the execution. Click on execute. Okay, click on go. See, this time you see 3 assign statements. The first one, the second one, and the third one, right? Click on the instance. You can see here x equal to 5. Same thing, right? So these are the 2 ways to write the business process and to check in the business process back in the Sterling integrator. Okay. In fact, friends, okay, you see your graphic process modeler has generated this .bp file, right? Actually, this is this file that you see, .bp file, right? If any of you work in SI, then everyone you will hear .bp, bp file, bp, bpa, bpo, sorry, bp this, bp that, and .bp, like something like that, right? This .bp file is nothing but a zip file. Okay, let me show you. Open with, I do not have open with. Open with, okay. how to unzip this. I need hold on. That software is not WinRAR is not here, I think, installed on this system, but it will be in my desktop, I think. Let me see. I cannot copy from the virtual machine to here. Oh, that's bad. I cannot copy. I think I installed the WinRAR here somewhere. No, WinRAR is not here. So if I had a WinRAR, right, I could unzip this using the WinRAR, okay, and then you will see I can unzip it, right? Once you unzip it, you will see a XML file, okay, and friends, that XML file will look exactly like this one, okay. So the point that I'm trying to make is behind this .bp file is a XML file, right? So this GPM is doing nothing, but it's generating a .bp file by zipping this XML file. Got it? By zipping this XML file. Okay. So if any of you have a WinRAR, you can just right click and then unzip with the WinRAR. You will see there is a folder created called the Hello World, and then once you go inside that Hello World, you will find a hello world.bpml file, right? Open that BPML file in the text editor or in any XML editor, you will find the same code like this, XML code. So that is the thing. So this is all about for today's session. Okay. I stopped the recording. I think that is good enough. That's it, friends, for today. And now we will